I just wanna call our meeting to order. I wanna welcome all y'all here and proud to see you here. And I wish this courtroom full for every meeting we have. And, at this time, I wanna ask Eric Watkins to do the invocation.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you blessed us with. We thank you for your grace and your mercy and your love. Lord, we ask your blessings upon this county commission tonight and the meeting tonight, that everything we say and do will turn to you and ask you for the decisions that we need to make. Lord, we ask that you bless our military, those here at home and abroad. Be with them and their families as they protect us and let us live in the land of the free, Lord. Lord, go with us tonight and keep us in your care. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ben, can you lead us in pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have roll call, please.
Elijah Thomas.
Here.
Ron Hebert.
Here.
Rick Joyner. Drew Shepherd.
Here.
Shane Cates.
Here.
Eric Watkins.
Here.
Terry Pitchu.
Here.
Dennis Gray.
Here.
Archie Cryer.
Here.
Melissa Fields. Here. Brandon Jones.
Here.
Clint Mathis.
Here.
Mark George.
Here.
Alexis Taylor. Here. All present.
All right, next on the agenda, we need to elect the chairman of the county commission. Do I hear any nomination for chairman of the commission?
I'll nominate Larry Pitcher.
Any other nominations?
I move the nomination cease and Boo be elected by acclamation.
Second.
Mo, we got a second on that, let's just take a roll call, please.
Brian Hebert.
Yes.
Rick Joyner.
Yes.
Drew Shepherd.
Yes.
Shane Cates.
Yes.
Eric Watkins.
Yes.
Terry Pitchu.
Yes?
Dennis Gray.
Yes.
Archie Cryer.
Yes.
Melissa Fields. Yes. Brandon Jones.
Yes.
Clint Mathis.
Yes.
Mark George.
Yes.
Alexis Taylor. Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, guys, I appreciate it. We get right down to business. Guys, I know we have a little hard time hearing in here. Thanks, Miss Sydney, coming over helping us today. These mics didn't work out as well. We've got another audio system, the former administration to put in place, and it's at the office. We're trying to get it worked out to see if it's gonna help. If you would like to move your chair in any direction, I don't care if you sit behind me or beside me, make yourself comfortable to where you can hear. We're gonna work this problem out in the next couple of weeks, okay? We're gonna move on to item number 6, and it's a resolution to set county legislative bodies.
You gotta get a line, please. Well, you gotta be voted on.
At this time, we'll go back to item 5, and I would ask for a nomination.
Move that cease and he be elected by acclamation.
Move to cease and he be elected to acclamation. Roll call vote, please.
Brian Hebert.
Yep.
Rick Joyner.
Yes.
Drew Shepherd.
Yes.
Shane Cates.
Yes.
Eric Watkins.
Yes.
Terry Pitchu.
I better say it.
Dennis Gray.
Yes.
Archie Cryer.
Yes.
Melissa Fields.
Yes.
Brandon Jones.
Yes.
Clint Mathis.
Yes.
Mark George.
Yes.
Alexis Taylor. Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
13 yes, 1 abstention.
Thank you all.
So I officially messed up the agenda, so there's no going back. Here we go. Number 6 is a resolution to set the county legislative body meetings. We will actually need a motion to take this off of the table to discuss it.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Now, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer an amendment to the resolution. Instead of meeting on the first Tuesday night, we'd like to meet on the first Monday night.
So the resolution states that we would move our meetings every other month, and they would move to the first Tuesday night. We have an amendment to that would ask that we move it to the first Monday night every other month, beginning in October that would be the third, that would be, our meetings would start October the 3rd. Our stated meetings would be every other month. After that, on on the very first Tuesday, first Monday, that's your amendment of those months. Do I have any discussion on that?
Question. We're talking about it meeting this October 3rd,
Yes.
and then again on the 11th?
No, the October 11th meeting would go away. We would start our
We
trend
want,
on.
want to get that cleared up.
So our first meeting would be October the 3rd, and it would, all stated meetings would roll every other month after that on the very first Monday.
That's Monday night football.
Sorry, Don Terry.
Don't get real long-winded.
It actually was. I had this question earlier, and I posed it to the ladies about holidays. It actually doesn't affect any holiday, am I correct, ladies?
Yeah.
It actually doesn't affect any holidays, they reside in the opposite months. So you wouldn't necessarily, I don't have a calendar, I'm taking their word because they're very smart. So, but is there any more discussion?
I've got, you make sure they all get started at 7 o'clock, where everybody knows what time these meetings are gonna be. In the past, we have them at 6 o'clock, not committee meetings, everything, I'd like for all the meetings to start at 7, if we could.
Does the current resolution have a time on it?
It does, time and a place.
That's recommended.
Notwithstanding committees, the current, commission has a stated place and a stated time of 7 p.m. That applies to everyone except Bowman. You can get here when he wants to.
Monday night football.
Is there any more discussion on this?
You answered my question for holiday.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously. Resolution regarding change on purchase limits. I am going to defer this to Ms. Heather Morgan.
Stand over here in the corner. Basically, what happened in May of 2022, legislation changed, TCA Code 12-3-1212, which had been a long time standing of a purchasing limit of $10,000 for county governments, was increased to $25,000. A few years ago, cities had been bumped up, or municipalities, to $20,000, but they did not increase county government. So this was a legislative change that just recently happened. It was automatic with the highway departments. There was a state action that made every single highway department in the state of Tennessee automatically move to the $25,000, so they're already operating on that. And I can also tell you that the school board already approved that the school had already moved from $10,000 to $25,000. But for the county government departments, under the budgets that I oversee, we need a resolution passed to increase that limit to 25.
Motion to approve.
Sorry?
Is there any discussion? Realizing this is a monetary vote, I'll ask for a roll call.
Brian Taylor?
Yes.
Rick Joyner? Drew Shepherd?
Yes.
Shane Case?
Yes.
Eric Lyons?
Yes.
Terry Getchell?
Yes.
Vince Gray?
Yes.
Archie Fryer?
Yes.
Melissa Fields?
Yes.
Bradley Jones?
Yes.
Clint Mathis?
Yes.
Mark Dorch?
Yes.
Alexis Taylor? Elijah Thomas?
Yes.
Unanimous.
That vote being unanimous, we will move on to item 8 on your agenda. It's a co-op purchasing agreement with Eagle County Paramedic Services, and I will defer that also to Heather Morgan.
This agreement, it's a master cooperative purchasing agreement. It will apply to any county department, any county government office if approved tonight. But the reason we're bringing it is for the EMS. Director Greg Barrow, he was appropriated $52,000 in this budget year for chest compression systems, 3 of them. So basically, he did some research and found that the best price he could find was through a cooperative agreement, this being the Eagle County Health District and Savick Buying Group. For the commissioners that are existing commissioners, we did another cooperative agreement about a year ago in 2021 with Sourcewell. That was for the sheriff's office. So very similar. If we decide as a county that we're going to use a cooperative purchase agreement, you have to have a master agreement in place. Once that agreement is in place, then any department can then look and search for items or equipment, those types of things, and they can use this agreement. But it is specifically being asked so that the MS director can move forward and try to get these chest compression systems, which the price is just under $52,000 from this group. Any questions on that here?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? Again, being a monetary vote, we're asked to take a roll call, please.
Brian Seaver,
Yes.
Rick Joyner,
Yes.
Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Cates,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Pitchu,
Yes.
Dennis Gray,
Yes.
Archie Cryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields. Yes. Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis.
Yes.
Mark Dorch.
Yes.
Alexis Taylor. Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 9, approval of county attorney agreements. We actually have 2 agreements. We're gonna take this in section A and section B. First section will be the contract for legal services with Stewart County, and this is simply Charles's contract. I will tell you, a couple of you have noticed it, that it went up monetarily. Charles had made some adjustments also that I want to point out that certain legal documents that have been put over to the county, to our offices, he is willing to withstand up to an hour that, such as a resolution. The resolutions that are put before you are clearly legal documents. He has done some of those, and we've had to, he's taken them all on now himself, up to an hour of each one of those. So while you see that pay increase, it is a slight increase. It's not as large as what you're looking at, when you consider his time doing these resolutions and things.
Motion approved.
Motion and a second, any discussion? No discussion?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
So looking under the express consent acknowledgement, what we're talking, and I think that's also on the next page. So we're consenting to Charles representing the county, the school board, and Houston County.
Not in this agreement. Is it in this
It is in
agreement?
this one too.
So we're, okay. I thought you separated it out. I'm sorry. It's a separate voting on Houston County.
But if we vote this in, then what good is the next? Because we've already voted for it to be open.
Which is correct, and I really wanted to vote on these second, because I've talked to a few of you that had concerns. So we do need to vote on these apart. What is your comment? Can we strike that from? Right. So we already had a first and a second, so we need to.
Crack my motion.
We was, okay. Make a second on that. Scratch the motion. All right, remove the motions on the floor. We will move to item number B, or item B, that's the consent and release of liability. This is simply Charles Parks asking your permission to represent Houston County as their legal team. Is that correct?
So he's gonna be representing both counties?
We have in the past had problems.
I was my concern over that lawsuit we had with Houston County. Forever. How's that gonna work out if you're representing both?
Well, if there was a conflict, I called the state, if there was a conflict, I couldn't represent either county. So I've got to step back on either.
My concern is that, that Houston County lawsuit was a long time. I mean, it lasted a long time. And if you can't represent either one of us in a lawsuit, we'd have to find other counsel to represent us, but we would also still be paying you to represent the county. And that's my only concern. I mean, I think that, I think you do a fantastic job for us, and I think you do a good job for the school board, but, I mean, it's not that there's never been issues with Houston County. And there could be issues with the school board at any time, and that puts us continuing with your contract that we're keeping you as our attorney. but then we'd have to find somebody else to represent us and continue to pay you for your regular services. That's my concern, and I hadn't talked to anybody else, so I don't know what everybody's concern is, but that's my concern.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. But the question, or the contract even before this has always been like that. It's got a clause in there where I can hire outside counsel on anything, and that doesn't mean I still wouldn't represent the county, I just wouldn't represent the county on that particular issue. Or if I was to, if any issue come up, if there was an issue that I didn't feel comfortable with, or an area that I didn't specialized legal services, then I would have to hire outside counsel, whether that was on there or not. And I did reach out to, like I said, the board, and they, I mean, there's a lot of attorneys that represent multiple counties, multiple utility districts in the same county. The school board, actually, the TSBA actually recommended, and the CTAS recommended, because its attorneys are familiar with both the board and the commission, how they operate, so.
So if you represent both, and we had a problem,
If it was
then we have to have a
against each
special
other,
call meeting to, get outside counsel.
if it was what?
We did, well, we have a special call meeting. I have to hire somebody else to represent that. How does that work?
If it was directly against Houston County or the school board, I could represent either party
Right.
for that topic.
Right.
So like, if it was the TWT thing.
So what's the process of us getting somebody to represent?
I mean, we would just have, the county would have to hire another attorney, Houston County would have to do the same, the school board would do the same thing. Which is not uncommon to hire other attorneys. That's not only, on-staff attorneys for a lot of counties don't represent your litigation, they just represent on day-to-day operations. Which is the way this contract is kind of set up, it's any kind of litigation, there's a whole different section in there that actually the billing is per hour, the right to hire outside counsel. So it's kind of been like that for the whole time. I mean, if there was a conflict within the client that I represent in the private world, I could represent the county for that client, whether I have consent or not. The consent really is just to try to be upfront with everybody of the process. I mean, the consent really, most attorneys get if an issue does arise, is that they understand that they represent both sides. That way there's no thinking that I'm covering both sides, so. The consent is not necessarily needed to represent, it's just, I did it as a courtesy more than anything.
Just out of curiosity, what made Houston County call you after you just represented us in?
It was recommended by their judge, who just retired, and Markley Gill, which is their new, or Markley Runyon. They contacted me out of the blue. I had not spoken to nobody about it. They contacted me and asked me would I be interested. So I called Mayor Brandon, spoke to him about it. He had no worries. Obviously, I spoke to him about the conflict. I let it rest for a while. They reached out to me again, and I called the state. The past mayor that was there before actually said he was wanting to do it to hopefully bring unity between the counties. It was his reason. That's what he told me, because I asked him in an email to put it in writing why he was reaching out to me, so. I don't know how many, I haven't been here as long as some of them have, I don't know how many conflicts they've had over the years, I think that's the only one. And to be honest, that wasn't between the counties, it was between the party, and the party was what brought the counties that conflict, because they had to fix it. So the conflicts originally arise from taxpayers, not the counties.
All right, I'm on that one, to accept. I'll say.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion on this item?
We vote on A and B.
We are voting on B at this time. We're just voting on B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will return back to item A, and that's the contract for legal services with Stewart County. So, that, motion and a second. I would ask for any discussion.
Just for the record, the independent attorney was this.
I'm aware of it.
Rick, I didn't hear what you said.
The independent attorney
not since September the first, they haven't. Is there any further discussion? This is a monetary vote. I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Brian Teeber,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Gates,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Fisher,
Yes.
Vince Gray,
Yes.
Archie Cryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields,
Yes.
Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis,
Yes.
Mark Dorch,
Yeah.
Alexis Taylor, Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
We'll move on to item number 10. This is the TDEC grant. This grant, is the utilities grant that come out of the ARPA funds. You guys had a meeting on it a couple of months ago, and it went a different direction. I want to tell you how urgent this grant is for our county, first off, because I've worked on it, for the last month and a half. I'll tell you how it happened. After I won the elections, I called each utility district, and I said, we're gonna have a meeting. I have no authority power, but we're gonna have a meeting for you guys, to sit down and talk about this, because this meeting is 6 months behind. They all showed up. We ended up with 20 people in the room, and it was probably the most constructive meeting I'd ever been a part of. Between North Stewart, West Stewart, Dover, and Cumberland City, they sat down, they figured all the money out. We have 3 subsections, that we have to approve tonight, and there's no time to waste. If this comes back to the commission, it's because we didn't get the grant. I mean, that's as simple as it is. We have asked representatives with the state of Tennessee, or with TAUD to be here tonight if you have any questions concerning the grant. But I can tell you, if it comes back to the county commission and we don't get it out tonight, we won't get this grant. That's as easy as it is. At this time, I would ask for a motion to untable the TDEC grant.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Section A of this is the approval of the American Rescue Plan Grant Administration Services to the TUA. What the TUA is, guys, they will step us through. They are simply a grant administrator. They will do all the work for us. This grant allows for 6% of this grant to be applied as a fee to a grant administrator. TUA is simply the cheapest that we could find, and they are good. They have put this thing together. They did all the legwork after the meeting, and they had a 3% cost. I think that roughly comes out to be about $87,000 of this $3.13 million grant. And that takes a lot of stress, a lot of prep work, and a lot of work off of our office. If we had to do this, I'm not for sure we could do it right now with the level that we've got going in our office. But these guys can, and they can step us through us, they can step us through us safely, so that we don't have to worry about coming back and being fined or paying for any of this stuff over and over. They will not let us get in that shape. He's assured me of that.
So to approve A, B, and C.
I would like to do these separate if y'all are okay with it, and there's a reason why, and it comes to go to Cumberland City. Is that okay that we just go A?
Right.
Looking for a motion for A? Any discussion? Services, contract services with TUA has been approved. If, all in favor, no, it's monetary. Yeah, let's take a roll call, because it's monetary.
Alright, Brian Teeber,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Gates,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Fisher,
Yes.
Vince Gray,
Yes.
Archie Cryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields,
Yes.
Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis,
Yes.
Mark Dorch,
Yes.
Alexis Taylor,
Yes.
Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Item B is simply allowing us to submit a non-competitive grant application for the ARP funds. And this will be with North Stewart Utility District, West Stewart Utility District, and the city of Dover. I'll explain more about Cumberland City in just a second. They have nothing to do with item B. It's just, the TUA apply for this grant, and and giving them permission and stating that North Stewart, West Stewart, the city of Dover are, I don't know if they're happy, but they are okay with the grant money and how it's gonna be dispersed. That's what item B is. We have all representatives from each district in the audience, if you have any questions. If not, I will entertain a motion.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Okay?
The $1.5 million going to North Shore Utilities, what is that going to service? Is that expansion or upgrades, or what is that?
Okay, it's a little bit of both for them, because, okay, so what had happened, they applied for a $2.2 million grant-ish. And that's been a year or so ago. We all know inflation hit. And the money they're asking for is simply the inflation rate, almost. It is ridiculous on our country's part, but we can't handle that. We just have to handle what we can handle. It's pretty much inflation rates on what they have going in the ground, what they're doing. They had set out sometime in May and sent a letter over asking for this amount of money and stated their projects. Each utility district had to come up with a scorecard. The state of Tennessee come back and said, these are your greatest needs. It's not what they want to do. I know some people wanted to see water pushed through the backside of Indian Mountain. They're not ready to push water through the backside of Indian Mountain. They can't get water up the hill there yet, so they have to, so that's their main facilitation right now. They have a water line that's in the middle of Indian Mound Road and Roy Hall, maybe, or Roy Hall. Literally, it is hard for our county to get out there and pave that road because they have, I think at their last water board meeting, there was 44 cuts in the road that they had to cut and replace this line.
Right.
What they're wanting to do with their main amount is move that line over to a ditch, put a larger line in, so the next round of money that we might be able to get can push water further in. They're nowhere near for that, ready for that now. And this is just one of the projects they have listed. They also have a filtration system that they're wanting to upgrade that will help their water quality also. So that, and you're more than welcome, if y'all would like to suspend the rules, you can, they're here if you would like to speak with any of them.
So what you're telling me is they're going to move a water main out of Royalla and put it in a ditch and do some upgrades to what they have right now.
Motion on the floor?
Second.
Second. This will be a monetary budget, so I'll ask for a roll call.
Brian Tinker,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Hicks,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Pitchu,
Yes.
Nancy Gray,
Yes.
Archie Fryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields,
Yes.
Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis,
Yes.
Mark Dorch,
Yes.
Alexis Taylor,
Yes.
Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
Unanimous.
We'll move on to item C. It's a resolution authorizing the transfer of a portion of Stewart County's non-competitive grant program to the city of Cumberland City. I sat down with Mayor Vaughn and we were talking about this and I said, you know, when I figured it out, your portion of this is gonna be approximately $600,000. He said, oh no, son, that ain't gonna happen, and that's the way he did it too. I don't have he said, I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for $250,000. The rest of the county, they benefited highly from them just asking for what they can do. He said, I have wants and I have needs. This is a need right now, and it's gonna be addressed on his scorecard also from the state of Tennessee. It was a very generous offer coming from Cumberland City. You know, the rest of the three utilities have benefited several $100,000 because of their generosity and the fact that they just need this $250 to upgrade their pump. So that's the reason why I want to let you guys know that that was very generous, and all the rest of the utility guys feel the same way I do. At that meeting, they discussed, it was a very generous offer, and we appreciate that. Just, I'm glad you're gonna get your pumps fixed, and,
Motion approved.
motion to approve from the floor. This is again a monetary vote, I'll ask for a roll call.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, I was not paying attention, I was talking to Brian. But on the resolution before, it says the Stewart County is elected to use $2,793,869.53 of its ARPA funds.
Correct.
That's not our million in ARPA funds.
This TDEC is a subsection of ARPA.
Okay,
So
so,
there, it's,
okay,
it's under the ARPA guidelines.
okay, cause I was like, oh, I
No,
thought they asked for,
it's
I thought
fine,
they asked
yeah.
for 300,000.
This grant come out through the American Rescue Plan.
Okay.
So, that's-
Okay.
Is there any discussion on item C? We have a second on the floor, and I'll ask for another roll call, please.
Ron Seaver,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Tate,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Fucci,
Yes.
Vince Gray,
Yes.
Archie Fryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields.
Yes.
Bradley Jones.
Yes.
Clint Mathis.
Yes.
Mark Dorch.
Yes.
Alexis Taylor. Elijah Thomas.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you all. Item number 11 is the school board vacancy from District 6. Actually, I didn't tell you this, but I'm gonna let you explain what the law states that we must do, and then we can go ahead if you don't mind.
There's basically two statutes, they almost conflict. You've got one that's under 5, which is county law, basically says the commission has the power to appoint, unless there's an election within 120 days, they can basically wait. There's also a statute under statute 49, or section 4, title 49, that says it shall be replaced at the next called or scheduled meeting. Looking into the history of it, calling everybody I could call. The Title 49 statute was actually put in when county commissions appointed school board members and they didn't run for it. So it's a little older, it's a lot older, it's in the 20s or 30s, where Title 5 was put in the mid-90s. So it's my belief that Title 5 would have more precedence in this now. TSBA attorney argues that Title 9, or Title 49 is for schools and education, so he feels like that would stand. But he also did make a comment, and this is kind of where I was headed, was there's really no enforcing factor behind it, especially with an election in November. So it's kind of up to the commission, and that's why it's on the agenda.
Vote not to approve, I mean, not to.
We have a motion on the floor to table. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of second. I will state this, that the way the state, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably wrong. Tonight would just be you guys saying you're gonna appoint somebody, if you decided to appoint somebody. Tonight would be you got, the public has 30 days or until the next meeting, okay, to speak with their representative to see if they,
They could make nominations if the chair opens it up to nominations. And they have to accept it.
in one meeting. Yes, I think that, so.
No, there's none, they don't have to do it. Of course, there's not a school board meeting until November.
About 53 or 4 days left. I make a motion, we not fill the seats, let fill District 6, do that.
We have a second on the floor to not fill the vacancy. Is there any discussion?
I know people don't think that, but, I mean, I feel like we should fill it, just even though there's, you know, there may not be a meeting until November, but I feel like that we should fill it. Just, I mean, and of course, that's just my feeling, what we hear about it.
I don't think we should, because we'd be giving anyone an unfair advantage.
Well, I think that, you know, if you were to fill it with somebody who does not intend to run, and I've talked to a couple people that you know, said that they would do it and that they would not run for the position, and I think that you
But
already
there's not gonna be a meeting,
you had to qualify for it already, haven't you?
why would they want it if there's not gonna be any meeting for the election?
That's kind of right. I feel like the person who's appointed may not want it, but we have to think as a whole, as the people of District 6. Because right now, they have no voice for the school.
But there's no meeting or anything before the election, they're not gonna miss it.
So right now, we're talking about not fill with it, correct me if I'm wrong, and let the election take care of it.
Right.
Right,
That's the motion that's on the floor.
put it before the people.
It don't matter what I think in Indian Mound, I'm in District One, let District Six fill their own vacancy.
That's pretty much what the motion says.
Yep.
Is there any further discussion?
Any what's your opinion?
I mean, my opinion, it's within 120 days. I don't know that you benefit. I think the time's close for somebody to run. I don't know what you would benefit to appoint somebody, besides somebody to call, I guess. There's not a meeting, as far as I know, there's not a schedule or a call meeting. I don't feel like there's any law that says you necessarily have to fill it. There's conflicting law, one says you shall, and one says it's election within 120 days.
Melissa, you said you already knew people that were asking, so they would run, take a position, but not run for league. Could we vet that in enough time to get them a voice in District 6? I mean, if that's the case, having a voice, I think it's gonna take more time for us to vet them.
I don't know. I mean, I know that, you know, people have called me, people have talked to me about, you know, filling that. And again, it's not my district, it's their district, but, like I told Mayor Vaughn earlier, you know, we work for the whole county. And, you know, that's just what we do. And if somebody calls me from District 6 and wants, you know, to be nominated or, you know, says they won't run, then I see that as, you know, somebody that's interested. And it's not that they, even though there's not a meeting, you do have somebody that you can call. And we've been talking about, I mean, the dump. But people have called us about that, and we've called, you know, and checked on that, because we're the representative for that county, or for our district. So I just see that. I mean, I guess you could call your county commissioner, and they can call the school board, but I just see it as something that's your voice. I mean, that your elected official is your voice, and if it says that we, you know, that we can fill it, we should.
This is my thought. Again, I'm in District One. I don't know everybody in District 6. I don't know who's running. Somebody may get nominated, I don't know nothing about them. How do I vote for somebody I don't know nothing about? So I'd rather let the district build their own.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, you know, I've had one person from District 6 reach out to me that thought we should fill it, but I've spoken with multiple who thought it would be best for it to go to ballot. So that's what I've heard from District 6, and with that, I'll call for the question.
All in favor of not filling the vacancy? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Well, we will not be filling that vacancy per commission. Moving on to item 12, the approval of to sell surplus property. I would ask at this time if any commissioner would like any of this stuff stricken from the vote, and we can vote on it separate. Has every commissioner looked over this and had time to digest it? Do I have a motion to approve sale of surplus property? Approved, sir. This has a monetary value, I'll ask for a roll call.
Brian Seaver,
Yes.
Rick Joyner, Drew Shepherd,
Yes.
Shane Case,
Yes.
Eric Watkins,
Yes.
Terry Pitchen,
Yes.
Vincent Gray,
Yes.
Archie Fryer,
Yes.
Melissa Fields,
Yes.
Bradley Jones,
Yes.
Clint Mathis,
Yes.
Mark Dorch, Alexis Taylor, Elijah Thomas.
Thank you guys for your time, thank you for coming out, and do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor say aye.